I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a
Welcome, Jikook'S, Purple Heart. Today we're back to discussing sweet moments from Jungkook and Jimin. Have you ever felt that behind the hustle and bustle of the fast-paced world, there are actually simple moments at Soundcheck that secretly touch your heart? Soundcheck moments are usually short, technical, and far from the main highlights of the concert. But this time, the atmosphere that was initially full of obstacles turned into one of the warmest and most unforgettable moments between Jungkook and Jimin from BTS. Instead of running smoothly, the soundcheck was marred by technical issues in the stage area. Several audio devices were out of sync, crew communication looked busy, and the atmosphere was tense. Fans who were lucky enough to watch the soundcheck initially thought that this session would be quickly stopped. However, in the midst of that not ideal situation, the other side of Jungkook and Jimin actually appeared. As the crew tries to fix the system, Jimin is seen trying to defrost the atmosphere. He jokes lightly, moves casually on stage, and even occasionally does a little dance to entertain the waiting fans. Jungkook, who initially seemed to be focused on paying attention to the crew, slowly got carried away. Jungkook's gaze fell on Jimin several times, noticing his behavior that tried to keep everyone smiling in the midst of the delay. Not just a group mate, their interactions at that time felt very personal, warm, and sincere. In between the relaxed atmosphere, Jungkook uttered a sentence that was then talked about. "This is the best Jimin I've ever seen in my life." For many fans, this sentence is not just a normal compliment. The way Jungkook said it, with a tone of admiration and a smile that was hard to hide, made the moment feel so sincere. Jimin, who heard him, only laughed embarrassedly, but his expression showed he was really touched. Instead of being a boring session due to constraints, the soundcheck turned into a relaxing time full of laughter. Jungkook starts joking in, imitating Jimin's movements, and the two even laugh a few times for no apparent reason, like two best friends forgetting that they're on a big stage. The fans who watched felt like they were seeing the most natural side of their relationship. No choreography, no main camera, no performance pressure. Fans who were present in the soundcheck area admitted that they did not expect to witness such a warm moment. Some of them even said that the atmosphere felt more intimate than when the main concert started. There were no grand stage effects, no dramatic lighting highlights, just natural interactions between Jungkook and Jimin. Many noticed how Jungkook smiled to himself several times while staring at Jimin, while Jimin, in his relaxed style, kept trying to keep the atmosphere light, as if he knew that the tension could be dissipated with just a little laughter. The moment felt so honest that fans felt like they were seeing a side that is rarely captured by official cameras. What makes this moment even more interesting is their body language. Jungkook looked more relaxed than usual. He didn't stand far away, not busy himself, but chose to be close to Jimin while the crew worked around the stage. Every now and then, Jungkook responded to Jimin's movements with an expression of admiration and a small laugh. Jimin also turned his head to Jungkook several times, as if to make sure his friend was enjoying the atmosphere. These small interactions may seem simple, but for BTS fans, it's details like these that matter the most. Because they waited for a long time, fans began to get nervous. But when Jungkook and Jimin start joking on stage, the atmosphere changes completely. Their laughter was contagious, making the audience cheer and enjoy the moment. Some even said that the soundcheck felt like an unplanned mini-fan meeting. What makes this story even more special is the fact that most of the moments were not recorded by the main camera of the concert. Only the fans who were there actually witnessed it live. This makes the experience feel exclusive, personal, and hard to forget. Technical problems are often considered a nuisance. But on that day, It is precisely the imperfection that opens up the space for sincerity. Jungkook wasn't performing, Jimin wasn't trying to impress, they were just being themselves. For fans who attended, the soundcheck was no longer just a concert preparation session. It turns into sweet memories that will continue to be told, of how technical constraints turned into laughter, how tense atmospheres turned to warmth, and how one-sentence Jungkook left everyone speechless. Waiting for technical fixes usually feels tedious. But in that moment, many fans feel like time is running slower, not because they're bored, but because they want the moment to last longer. Jungkook was seen talking quietly to Jimin several times, in between small laughs that they only understood. Jimin replied with his trademark ignorant expression, making Jungkook shake his head with a smile. That simple interaction felt like a conversation between two old friends who forgot that thousands of pairs of eyes were watching. No excessive gestures. There are no dramatic actions. But that's precisely why their closeness feels real. The way they stood close together, the way Jungkook looked at Jimin as he spoke, and the way Jimin occasionally sought out Jungkook's reaction, it all seemed so natural. For BTS fans, it's a small slice of the friendship dynamic rarely seen on the main stage. The crew finally managed to overcome the technical problem. Soundcheck is back to running as it should. But the atmosphere has already changed. The tension has melted, replaced by a warmth that is difficult to explain. Jungkook and Jimin also refocused on undergoing a soundcheck session. But the smile left on their faces showed that the moment just now was not something ordinary. Because it happens spontaneously. Without a plan. No script. No appearance pressure. Just emotional honesty in the midst of a situation that is not ideal. Often, it is precisely at times like this that the most human side of an idol is evident. When the main concert begins with grandeur, spotlights, and cheers from the audience, not many know that there has been such a warm little moment on the same stage before. A soundcheck that was initially fraught with constraints, turned into a space of laughter, jokes, and genuine admiration. And for those who watched, the memories may be far more valuable than the grand show that followed afterwards. Memories that live on among fans. After the concert was over, the story about the soundcheck spread quickly among fans. Not because of the spectacular stage effects or setlist, but because of the warm interaction that feels very human between Jungkook and Jimin. Those present began to share their stories. How a small laugh in the midst of technical problems became the core of the memories of that day. Fans remember simple things. The way Jungkook stood relaxed while watching Jimin, the way Jimin tried to cheer up the atmosphere, to the smile that appeared without being contrived. These small details feel so much more meaningful because they happen without the pressure of appearance. For many people, the moment is like seeing two sides, an idol on stage and two best friends behind it. On the concert stage, everything is planned. The choreography, the lighting, even the interactions. But when the soundcheck is interrupted, nothing can be planned. It is precisely in that space without a plan that sincerity comes into play. BTS's most memorable interactions are sometimes not when they perform perfectly, but when they become themselves. For fans watching, that soundcheck will always be a story retold, about how a technical issue turns into laughter, how a tense atmosphere turns into a warm, and how a simple sentence from Jungkook makes everything feel different. The concert may have been over. The stage lights have gone out. But the memories of the soundcheck live on in the memories of fans. Because sometimes, the most precious moment doesn't happen when the lights are brightest, but when two people stand on an empty stage, laugh together, and unconsciously create unforgettable memories. Thank you for watching until the end, Jikook lovers. If you also feel Jimin and Jungkook truly delivers in every performance, don't forget to support this video by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Let us know in the comments which performance moment from the Face era gave you the most goosebumps. See you in the next video.